Giannis Antetokounmpo's days in Milwaukee may be done. Let's go over how that may go down next on the NBA Economy Show. Hi, and welcome to the NBA Economy Show. Today, very excited. Breaking news that came through is that Milwaukee is listening to Giannis trade offers. This is not a drill. This is something we've been waiting for to happen for quite a while. Some people thought it was going to wait till the summer, but we knew it was always going to be a last ditch effort to trade Giannis this year. We know Giannis is incentivized to make that trade this year. Yesterday, we talked about a few reasons why that may be. But with the injury to Giannis just last week, Milwaukee may be incentivized to make that trade ASAP as well. They do have their own pick this year, and maybe they want to tank. They don't. They get the lesser of two picks, so the better pick is on a different team. But if they also go down, they also may have a better pick. So they are incentivized to start losing. And with his calf issue and with the resurgence of many injuries around calf issues, they may want to make that deal today. So what today we're going to do is we're going to kind of go over some of the rumors are out there from credible sources, and then we're going to kind of go over some scenarios. So first, we're going to talk about some Knicks scenarios, and then maybe some scenarios for people who just, if you want to know some scenarios, I can go over some scenarios with you guys if you guys have some ideas. So what are the rumors? So the Knicks have always kind of been in the conversation around Giannis since the summer. We saw that this summer they did have an exclusive window with the Bucks. With that exclusive window, okay, 1 second. Yeah, so with that exclusive window, for 2 weeks, they talk only to the Knicks about a trade. We have not heard what those offers were. We have a lot of people who just said they knew, but no one like Ian Begley or people who you could just take their word for what that package was. We don't know. I've heard from some other people, even including Jalen Brunson, which is highly unlikely. So I would take a grain of salt anybody who says they knew what that package was at this point. So Giannis makes similar to Cat money, but we know Cat is not doing well. Cat may be the best big man shooter of all time, but he is on a down year. And when we kind of look around the league on players with huge contracts, people on down years, the trend is to offer very little. So just the thought of Giannis trading for Cat is kind of out the window right now. Like, I really wouldn't put too much stock in that. So let's go over just a few of the rumors. And we've heard that the Miami Heat has emerged as a team that is really looking to make a serious offer for Giannis Antetokounmpo. The problem is what I've heard of what they're offering isn't such a blockbuster offer. Let me see. Mark Stein, insider Mark Stein, who's very credible, and it says the presumed best offer would be likely headlined by Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, and draft capital. So we don't see Norman Powell. We know Norman Powell probably would not be on their timeline. We also don't see Bam on that trade list. So they want to pair Bam with Giannis. It would be kind of odd, but it would be a very good starting nucleus for a team around Bam, Giannis, no Hero, Norm Powell, and they have a couple of young kids. So you would probably think that they would do this deal and then follow it up with another deal. I don't think what they have in-house is enough to compete for a championship, but they may have to do a secondary trade to kind of clean it up. Also, we've heard from Chris Mannix from Sports Illustrated is that the Warriors are prepared to make an offer for Giannis. And then you would say, okay, so what can they offer? Well, the Warriors are willing to offer, they say, Jonathan Kuminga, the injured contract of Jimmy Butler with draft picks. So you're looking at Kuminga. Basically, you're getting someone who wants a big contract, who's unproven, and an injured Jimmy Butler. I'm hoping there's if for them to have a shot, they have to have like 4 first-round picks in there. This has to be like an all-in kind of offer to even remotely come close, because that is not player-wise, that is not enticing. Even if you got Jimmy Butler toward the end of next year, Jimmy Butler's older on Milwaukee, what would that mean? At best, you're looking at Jimmy Butler the summer after as an expiring trade piece. So if the Warriors are really serious, they have to be putting a serious amount of draft capital in. Shams has reported Bucks already have multiple aggressive trade offers on the table for Giannis as talks escalate with multiple teams. So there are multiple teams they're speaking to with major offers. And you can assume that Knicks would be one of those teams they have to be talking to. Just want to shout out to the chat, Bodega Wi-Fi. Thank you for coming in. Just Knicks, salute as well. And Justo DeWave did have a question. Can Mikal be moved now or February 1st? Mikal cannot be moved until February 1st, which is basically this weekend. But they can talk about Mikal. There's nothing wrong to talk to teams before that date. They just can't execute a trade before then. And Bodega Wi-Fi is saying he hears that Heat rumors have them pairing Ja with Giannis. Also, what I'm hearing is that what they're offering for Ja isn't much. They're looking to just basically give them expirings, and they don't even want to come off a first-round pick for it. So basically, they're not offering much for Ja to make that happen. But they are very serious. Pat Riley is a competitor. And one thing he does not like to lose. So it does look like this is the real thing. This isn't just posturing. They're talking to multiple teams. Okay, so when we talk about the Knicks, what do you think the Knicks are offering? Let's we're kind of gonna go to yesterday. We talked to my guy Lee Escobedo, and he had a hypothetical 3-team blockbuster. The difference in here is um, basically it's almost like when we did the numbers, it did not match. So basically, his deal is going to be Drew Holiday coming back instead of Jeremy Grant, and so we're gonna go look at that Yasi trade. And I'm not really a big fan of this trade at all. So basically, Bucks would be getting Karl-Anthony Towns, Deuce McBride, Bacom Dadier, our Washington first. So that Washington first we expect is going to convert to 2 high second round picks. So a high second this year. With Trae Young next year, it may not be as high. So, but so 2 second round picks. It becomes. I really wish the Knicks would just give them 2 seconds instead of giving them that. There's always that small chance it can actually convert. And getting the swaps back from Portland in 2028 and 2030, and also they have a 2028 they took from Orlando, so giving that to the Bucks. So basically, it would allow them to tank in these years and not worry about giving those picks up. Getting your picks back is very important. We also know that the Pelicans own the swap in 2027. Okay. And then also this deal, Mikal Bridges goes to the Trailblazers. That was a new rumor. So what they did is they kind of integrated that into it and said, hey, by giving them Mikal, that's how you can get the swaps to give back to Milwaukee. You also throw in Gershon Yabusele to make the money work. And you get Jeremy Grant with Giannis. I am not a fan. Jeremy Grant is one of the worst contracts in the league. I definitely would rather Drew Holiday over Jeremy Grant. Okay. All right. So I wanted to make a trade, and I want a totally different route. I wanted to try something different and see where we got. All right. So with this trade, I'm going to combine kind of some rumors out there. And with the Trailblazers, I'm giving them Mikal Bridges since they covet Mikal Bridges so much. I'm going to get those swaps, and I'm going to give them to Milwaukee. I'm going to get that Orlando pick, and I'm going to give that to Milwaukee. But I'm going to rope in the Pistons. The Pistons kind of would like a stretch big. So we're going to take Turner from the Bucks and integrate him into this trade. They signed Turner this summer. They probably gave up a little too much. They paid him probably just a little bit too much for 4 years. So I think what you're going to do is you don't want that long-term deal. You're no longer going to be a winning team. So why not give that to the Pistons? Who wouldn't mind a stretch big? What I'm going to take from that is you're going to take the expiring deal to Tobias Harris. Also, I'm going to take a first from Detroit. Detroit is the best the best team in the East. So this their pick is going to be late 20s, 27, 28, 29 in that area. So they're going to give their late first round pick to the Bucks who can use it. We're going to send Yabusele to the Pistons. The Knicks will get Giannis Antetokounmpo, and to replace Bridges, Jaden Ivey. And the reason I picked Jaden Ivey is because Jaden Ivey is going to drive to the basket a lot more than Mikal Bridges, which has been an issue. He's kind of an untapped potential. That's why he is even available, because the Pistons don't look like they're going to pay up. They haven't gotten the benefit. They were number one in the East. Without him, why pay him the money that he wants? So we take Jaden Ivey, and what do the Bucks get? Well, they get a prize in OG Anunoby, Tobias Harris expiring, Robert Williams expiring, Scoot Henderson is your young talent. And you get 1 first round pick, 2 first round picks, 2 swaps, the 2 highest seconds from Washington, and 2 more seconds from New York. That's how I saw this trade. I just kind of combine rumors. How would this affect the Knicks? You see, you have Green for the Pistons, so it works. Bucks take on $10 million. It still works. Blazers take on a less than $1 million more. It works. Why does the Knicks have an X here? It's because it would put the Knicks at 13 contracts. So they would have 2 roster spots available. But with this trade, they would open up $5.7 more million. So you would have money to sign someone who got cut, and you probably have a way to who would the Knicks sign? The Knicks would sign someone from one of their 2-ways. I would guess they would sign Kevin McCullough. That would because Kevin McCullough's second 2-way year, the Knicks cannot re-sign him. It's kind of do or die with Kevin McCullough. I think they would bring him on. It would leave a spot in the 2-way. I think he would give that spot to Dink Pate. I think the Pistons get better with Turner and Yabusele in, Ivy and Tobias Harris out. And it's only going to basically cost them a pick, Tobias Harris and Jaden Ivey. Bucks. They have OG Anunoby, who is someone they could always flip as a 2-way player. Tobias Harris finishes out the year with the Bucks. Also can bring him back next year for a lot less. Robert Williams, a person who can, right now they are not quite a playing team, but Robert Williams could really show out there. Scoot Henderson will get the minutes, and you kind of need people to put butts in seats, and kind of Scoot Henderson provides that. So this is the trade I like that I kind of was working on this morning. Also, I wouldn't be opposed to being like the second team on a trade. I was hoping that Bam would be involved in a Heat trade, that maybe we can get Bam from the Heat instead of getting Giannis. Giannis is not just the only guy I would like on the Knicks. I really like Karl Anthony Towns. I don't think you're gonna get, if you trade Karl Anthony Towns, I don't think you're gonna get equal value. But Bam can help clean up a lot that Cat isn't doing. And if he was available, I would definitely be all in on that. Is there any other trades that you guys are really looking at? Let's take a look at. We're actually going to go to the trade machine. Okay, so we'll go to the trade machine. And we're going to go Milwaukee. And we're going to look at the Warriors offer. So Jimmy and Giannis match. And then Kuminga also. So there's $20 million difference. And what I think what they were going to offer is offering to take Kuzma in his bad contract. Most likely. And I don't see. Let me see how many picks they can give. 26, 27, 28, 30. 26, 27, 28, 30. So they don't have a pick in 2029. So that means they can offer 27. They can offer 31. Okay, and they have a hard cap. So they need to send out a little bit more. Okay, let's see if Pods gets it done. Okay, so this is one that works. Jimmy Butler, Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Podzinski. Someone they've held out of trades before. This one definitely gets it done. Do I think it's enough? No. Like 2 first round picks, I don't think it's enough to get it done. And especially 2027, Warriors are probably still good. 30-31. Who knows? They may be bad, but 2031 is a really good pick for them. 2027 is kind of iffy. Like you still don't know if they're bad yet. So I really don't see, unless the Warriors get other people involved, unless maybe Podzinski may be worth a couple picks to another team. That could make sense. Like they gave Podzinski to another team, and then they could get another pick or two to throw at it. Then makes sense. Okay. And okay, so the question is, don't forget Thanasis. And that is a valid question. Is not necessarily Thanasis does not necessarily need to be in a trade. Thanasis is a minimum player. So basically, if to put Thanasis on your team, all they have to do is cut. And if you have $2 million, $2.2 million to sign a player, you could sign Thanasis. So in the trade that we had for New York, the one I did had $5.4 million space. All they would have to do is cut Thanasis, and the Knicks sign Thanasis. So you don't necessarily have to put Thanasis in the trade. No, yeah, salute to the chat. So definitely, please, definitely hit like on the video. We're really trying to grow the channel. Okay, let me see what else do we have in. And yeah, so also the Stein line talks about the Pelicans and the Trailblazers, teams to monitor as facilitators. So we did see those swaps. Those teams are going to be going after those swaps to hand to the Trailblazers. So those swaps in the Trailblazers and also the Pelicans have the better of a pick. So those are picks that are going to be hotly gone after. So I do want to tell you that I will be live on the Nick of Time show. We're going to be having a Giannis special at 3 p.m. So definitely check out the Nick of Time show. Definitely check the Nick of Time show then. Hopefully, we may have a little bit more information. Hopefully, I can give you actually more scenarios if you're getting more information. I just wanted to bring you this information because this is definitely something that will go down. I think there are multiple reasons why Milwaukee needs to get this done. There are benefits for them doing it now. Definitely, they may not get as many picks as this summer, but tanking now will give them a better pick in a great draft. Also, if we look at their roster, we can definitely see there are reasons why they want to get this done. So let's look at their roster and the people they signed this summer. They signed this summer Cole Anthony, $2.2 million for 1 year. Amir Coffey, $2.2 million for 1 year. Gary Harris, player option. So basically, 1 year. Gary Harris, $3.6 million. Player option, 1 year. So these are all players, if they got rid of Giannis, really don't get the objective they came here for. They signed on to, complete a championship roster. And that's not what they're here for. That's not going to happen once that calf injury happened. That's no longer happening. So that's more reason to make that happen. So you have 4 or 5 players on that team who are not going to even get to the playoffs, who kind of signed up to be here to be the end of a championship roster. Those are 4 or 5 players that you can trade to contending teams, and perhaps you can get a couple seconds. We know Kevin Porter Jr. Has shown himself very valuable. Gary Trent Jr. a couple years ago, he wanted over $30 million a year. He's basically on a minimum for 1 year. You can definitely get a couple seconds for him. Gary Harris, definitely can get a couple seconds for him. Taurean Prince, maybe a second. Amir Coffey, Cole Anthony, definitely can get a couple seconds for them. So those are like picks you can get as they tear this down. Bodega Wi-Fi asks, is LaMelo or Ja still available? Ja is still very available. Ja said he wants to stay in Memphis, and Memphis is still shopping him. So it's not even up to Ja at this point. LaMelo, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Charlotte wouldn't reject a trade if there's a good enough trade for him. I don't. LaMelo is no longer untouchable. I don't think he's untouchable. They tried to change the culture, and he is not the future. We see Knuppel, is it Brandon, are basically the future of the team. And Marlonk 1976 says, get Giannis or risk Detroit, Miami, Orlando, or Lakers getting him. Meanwhile, we cannot beat Boston or Detroit. Yes, because Boston, who knows? Boston may get Tatum at the end of the season. And not only that, Boston has Anthony Simons on a 1 year. And who knows? They may take Anthony Simons with a couple picks and try to get another piece and actually try to go for it this year. So, yes, we not only have to think about ourselves, we have to think about other teams and how they're improving themselves and how that affects the Knicks. And Rando adds about Giannis. And if you get Giannis and keep Cat, who is still very offensive talented, even though he's having a horrible month. If you keep Cat and his great offense, and you add Giannis and his great defense, and not only that, leadership, that's very, very important. Keep those two together. Who knows? I think that wins you the East by easily. I think if you get Giannis and Cat is still on this roster, it wins you the East. Just hopefully you have one of the wings left. That hopefully you have at least one of Wingstop still there. So at this time, that's what I have for now. I don't want to keep you guys too long. If anything else happens, I'll probably go live later tonight. But definitely check in on the Nick of Time show at 3 p.m. and we will bring you the latest, and then we'll give you scenarios. And then what Lee is really good at is like breaking down play styles, how this team would work together, how Giannis would affect other teams if he's added to those teams. So definitely add those. But again, please like and subscribe. We're really trying to get to 500 by the trade deadline, which is like a little over 100 or so people by the trade deadline. So that'd be great. I do have my little Cash App, information here, but likes are free. So please like, subscribe, and I will see you next time on the NBA Economy Show.